I have just arrived at a zendo in South India. The place is called Bodhisattwa and it's about half an hour away from Kodaikanal. The reason why I'm here is because there is a session starting tomorrow, which is a 7-day long silent Zazen meditation retreat. I have never done Zazen in a retreat before, and I am really excited what to expect. It's hard to say anything when you for a whole week you're practicing not doing anything and not knowing anything. Nevertheless, I will pretend like I do. So the session ended yesterday. It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't as strict as I expected it to be. There were 5 sittings a day. We did 25 minutes twice, 5 times. So we sit for 25 minutes, and then there's 5-minute walking meditation, and then 25-minute more. And in between you could just hang out, be in nature, read, write, paint. You have some cleaning duties, but it's very quiet. You're silent the whole time. So the place is called Bodhisattwa. This is the first zendo, the first Zen meditation center ever created, ever established in India by Amasami, who was a Christian Jesuit priest who traveled to Japan and became a Zen teacher. And so it's interesting that you have the cross and the Buddha, which is a very nice feeling to have these two religions incorporated in a very harmonious way. And on Sundays you can always choose if you want to do sitting or you want to do a Eucharist ceremony with a Christian priest. I feel like it's important to say that if you already have your own practice and you're a little bit advanced, then maybe this is not a place for you. It is very much tailored towards beginners. It's very casual, not so serious. The talks, the teachings, the sitting, it's all kind of casual, it's nice. So if you're a beginner, I think this is an amazing place. It's not as strict as Goenka, for example, but you still meditate like 4 or 5 hours a day, and you are guided, you can rely on a teacher, and you also have time to kind of digest this new experience. And if you're a beginner, I think this is a wonderful place. But if you're a little bit advanced, then maybe come here to go deep into your own practice, but don't have much hopes for this place. Okay, so the practice of Zazen is relatively simple. The instruction is to just sit. Now, but there's a few ways you can sit. Here in this center, they're not so strict about how you're going to sit. You can use a lot of cushions, and there's also chairs, you can sit on those. But if you want to follow the traditional way of practicing Zazen, you should have the correct posture. So one of the ways you can sit is in the full lotus, in Padmasana, with the right leg underneath the left leg. The second way is half lotus, or the right leg down resting on the cushion, and the left leg, the left foot resting on the right thigh. But if these two are too difficult, you can also use the Burmese position, or Ardha Siddhasana, which means that the left leg is close to the pelvis here, and the right leg is in front. Now there's also a posture for the hands called a mudra, and the mudra that we use is the universal mudra, which is the right hand is the bottom, and you place the left hand on top, and you place the 2 index fingers together, just lightly, like holding a piece of paper in between them. Now you don't rest this down here, but to keep the correct posture, you keep the spine straight and you rest this at the hara, around the area of the belly button, and you don't let this down. Now, the most important part is the eyes. because we don't close the eyes in Zazen practice. We keep them open and we focus them about at a 45-degree down. Now, when I say focus, it just means that you're looking in that general direction. You shouldn't focus the eyes on anything. You should kind of have this unfocused, blurry vision that you're just not focusing on anything. At the beginning it's difficult, but then you kind of get the hang of it. And so this is how you sit. Steady posture, gentle mudra, keeping the eyes down at a 45-degree angle, relaxing, still, staring at the floor, and just sitting. That's it. Really simple. Now, one more thing I want to say about the practice. If you sit down to practice Zazen, you're not starting off right. To say I am practicing Zazen is a very selfish, kind of dualistic way of looking at the practice. When you're sitting in the posture, each part of your body is practicing Zazen. Your leg, your mudra, your hands, your eyes, the space around you, everything is practicing Zazen. So you're not really there. And to say that like, oh, I have to move my leg because it's hurting, is a very dualistic way of looking at it. Your leg being in pain is its way of practicing Zazen. So you really have to just sit. The practice is seeing things as they are, which is incredibly simple, but so simple that it's very difficult in the same time. For example, right now I was just talking to my friend, and right now I'm looking at a mountain. But to say that I was talking to my friend is already false, because she is much more than my friend. She is also a bunch of other things. And to say that's a mountain is also false, because it's not only a mountain. So you see, it's very hard to talk and think in a way where you can include everything that is not dualistic. And this process of seeing things as they are just deepens more and more and more, and you start to acknowledge the ways in which your mind has put you in a dualistic way of looking at things and constantly creating a distinction between you here and things out there. But as your practice deepens of just sitting becomes something very special when everything else around you becomes nothing special. When experiences become nothing special, no matter what's happening. Your mind is not so much pulled in directions, but it's just staying right here. And the interesting phenomena that happens, that when your mind is completely clear of movement, of attachment, of grabbing at this or pushing away that, it becomes a space in which everything exists. And you experience things as part of yourself. Put it that way. And it's interesting to see what is it that creates friction in your mind as you're sitting. And the question that arose in me was, what stops me from loving what is present in this moment? Because you see, we tend to think that our hearts have a door on them, and sometimes it's open and sometimes it's closed, but that's not the case. Because our heart's innate quality is to love what is. And it doesn't shift, it doesn't change, it always loves what is. There's nothing I can say about you. I can't put you in a concept or define you in any way. But the one thing for sure is that your innate quality is that you love what is right now, no matter what that is. I know it's hard to believe, I can't believe it. Maybe love is a very loaded word. I could say appreciation of what is. Whatever arises enters into this space of isness. But to see that, you have to practice non-doing. And I'm already failing just by the way I'm saying the sentence. You have to practice non-doing. There's this line in the Sin Sim Ming that says, practice non-doing and everything will fall into place. And it's true. Because the moment you practice non-doing, it's like everything, like the puzzle pieces, fall together into the fullness of the moment, creating this full picture that was not seen before. You could only see the different pieces because of the movements of the mind. Being identifying with the doer separates everything, creates separation. But the moment you practice non-doing, everything falls into place and the many pieces of the puzzle fall together, creating this moment, just as it is. And it changes. Now again you, and again you, and you just sit back and watch yourself unfold in a way. It's all a whole act of, this whole thing is just an act of self-expression. It's funny, I was an artist, like I did dance and acting for a long time, and I never really stopped being an artist. I still look at meditation very much as an act of self-expression. It's just quiet now. I sit back and watch myself unfold. And what I mean by that is explained in the Prajna Paramita by the line, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. That's a very far out line. Kind of sums up everything. That which is undefinable, which is beyond concept, beyond everything I can say, the mystery, the I, the self with a capital S, I talked about it in the previous video about Ramana Maharshi, is not separate from existence. It is existence. And so when I say I'm self, meditation is an act of self-expression, I am literally expressing myself. This is myself being expressed. And we think about enlightenment and spirituality as it's supposed to be special in somehow, or enlightenment is like this big special experience. And we really don't give enough appreciation to the nothing specialness of this moment. Because if you think about it, the unlimited self, unlimited, infinite, eternal self, including all possibilities, can also express itself from the most extraordinary way to the most ordinary way. And in this moment, in you, as you're watching this video, it's expressing itself like this. So, to sum it up, I thank Bodhisattva for giving me the opportunity to come and practice here. If you're a beginner and you're in South India, in Tamil Nadu, and you have some free time and you want to be in a beautiful environment where you can get a taste of what Zen is or isn't, then it's worth checking it out. But if you really want to commit to practice, you're serious about sadhana, and you want to be in a serious environment where you can meditate for long hours and you have a very strict guidance and a good teacher with you, maybe another place would be better. You can check out previous videos that I made. Those places are more on that side. But thank you so much for watching, and namaste.